beautiful people. My name is Knorr, and you're listening to OK Cool Conversations. This podcast is an extension of OK Cool Magazine, a biannual print magazine made for artists by artists. Both the magazine and this podcast explore the relationship between mental health and creativity. I am so excited to be sitting down and talking to you today. It has been a minute since I recorded a podcast episode, and by a minute, I mean 6 freaking months. I really found myself stuck in a loop of thinking that I didn't have anything of value to say, which quickly becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I obviously didn't have anything to say. But take this as a sign that if you put a project on the back burner recently, it is never too late to go ahead and pick it back up. That is what I'm doing today, and I challenge you to join the club, join the party. And I feel inspired to sit down and record a podcast because of a conversation that I had with a couple of people a few days ago. A friend of mine, who is a very talented artist, was very open and vulnerable about the fact that she really struggles when it comes to sharing her art on social media. And I thought, well, shit, like, let's talk about it. It's such a shared phenomenon. And so hopefully this podcast episode ends up being something like a little pep talk that you can come back to and listen to whenever you find yourself struggling to put yourself out there, specifically struggling to share your artwork on the internet. All right, baby. So first, we need to understand that our fears are not special. And I say that with love. But whether you're dealing with the fear of being seen, the fear of being judged, the fear of not being liked, the fear of being seen as annoying or being seen as narcissistic, there is an abundance of complex emotions linked to society's perception and understanding of what creativity is, who's allowed to be creative and who isn't, what kind of creativity is okay, and that's usually the kind that we can profit from. And if you're not good enough to make money from your creativity, then it's seen as frivolous and pointless. And we internalize the shit out of this, just like capitalism, misogyny, and racism. Not all to the same degree, but these systems and these modes of thought bleed into one another, and they become the air we breathe. We have internalized an actual visceral hatred for weird, expressive, unapologetic energy. And people who are not okay with their own inner creative weirdo, subconsciously or consciously, take it out and hate people who are the creative weirdos, who are just weird in general or just don't fit into the mold in general. So that's why we hesitate to post our art online. We know how judgmental the world is. So when it comes to pushing through your creative hangups, it's just a matter of choosing to be brave enough to do so, to keep pushing. And we have so many hangups around creativity because it's chaotic and it's unpredictable by nature. Our human understanding of the world, both our inherent human nature and the constructed society that we live in, is a very limited and linear understanding of the world. So this is a little reminder that your creativity is your gateway between this world and others. There has never been a better time to be an artist than right now, and that's because of social media. In my experience, the healthiest way to navigate social media is to have very, very strict boundaries with how much content and what kind of content you're consuming, to take full advantage of the internet. Baby, you need to be creating way more than you are consuming. And if you're ready to commit to being a creator and not just a consumer, a really good place to start is actually taking a break from social media. And then during that break, instead of making things that you think will go over well on Instagram once you do post them, actually learn to stop and pay attention to what you're most excited to create. What idea really lights you up turns you on, awakens you to believe that, you know what, maybe my creativity really is a gateway between this world and others. And then when you are so full of your own vision, then and only then should you go share online. And I promise you that that process in and of itself will be so fulfilling and feel so good. So whenever you find yourself thinking, what's the point? What's the point in posting my poetry? What's the point in starting a YouTube channel? What's the point in making a TikTok? Whatever it is for you, whatever the hump is that you can't find yourself getting over. Baby, the point is, how are you gonna feel if you don't do it? How are you going to feel if you don't post it? I'm taking a really cool creative content making course right now throughout the month of October, taught by Angela Gallo, who is an actual one-of-a-kind heretic creative genius, and she argues that the opposite of depression is expression. That we feel depressed when we aren't fully expressed. And when you deny yourself the opportunity to be seen, you're denying the opportunity to fully express yourself. Whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, I'm gonna need you to stop shrinking, to fit into this pre-existing mold, hoping for some validation in the process, because you were born to be different, and you were born to change the game. Trust me, if you're listening to this, you are of a different breed. And people will benefit from you and find value in you in the moments that you're able to fully express yourself. I promise that the more fun your creative practice is, the easier it's going to be for you to show up. I promise you that the more fun you have with showing up, the right people will be attracted to your energy. Art is communication. Art is a two-way street. Half of the creative process is you conceiving of and birthing your idea. But the other half is launching your baby into this world, into this fucked up world. So please, 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 please have the courage to push through your creative hangups. They're valid, but please don't let them stop you, okay? That's what I got. That's all I got. I hope you found this helpful. And if you end up taking any of this advice, please reach out to me and please let me know what your experience is like. I thank you so much for listening. If you want to be a part of OK Cool Magazine, we are currently accepting submissions to our 4th magazine. And to learn more, check us out on Instagram. And if you haven't listened to the first episode of this podcast, recorded a measly 6 months ago, you should go back and listen to it. I'm really proud of that little guy. And I promise you that number 3 is on the way. And if there's something specific you'd like to hear me ramble about in regards to mental health and or creativity, hit me up. Let me know. I love you all. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.